Good morning and welcome to Manhood Mondays with Coach Ellis. Hey, this is the day where we talk about things of manhood. I talk to men about fatherhood, about parenting, about being good husbands, good providers. And today, I want to talk about a subject that is very near and dear to me, and also is something that I think men really don't talk about, but it's very important. So I want to talk about the idea of men at work. Men at work. You know, the book of life says something that if a man doesn't work, a man doesn't eat. And oftentimes we find that men, we get wrapped up, we wrap up who we are in what we do. And whenever we are unemployed, underemployed, or not respected in our employment, that does something to our male psyche. And so this is personal to me because some of you know, and I'll share this briefly with you, is that several years ago, probably 15 years now, back in the early 2000s, about 15, 16 years, Coach was employed with a major international corporation, making six figures a year. I lost my job due to some negligence on my part. I got a traffic ticket I didn't pay for. I got a suspended license. But I lost my job, and I was unemployed. And I did not realize the toll that unemployment took on me, because it began to change some things that I was very secure in. I mean, secure that I was a provider. I was secure that I could take care of my kids. I was secure I could take care of my family. I knew that I was among the best of what I did, and this job, this justifiable opportunity for blessing, this job, this position that paid for my bills, helped define part of who I was. So when I lost this job, when I was no longer employed with this particular agency, what I ended up doing is struggling with some identity issues. So, in an effort to feed my family, I tried everything. I hired headhunters. I went to up and down the street with resumes. I filled out job applications. In fact, let me tell you something. I'm 40 plus years old, and actually I wasn't quite 40, but I was nearing 40 years old, and I applied for a job at McDonald's to be a breakfast cook at McDonald's. You know McDonald's, America's favorite first job. Yeah, and I had a James Evan experience. They said I was overqualified. They wouldn't hire me because I was overqualified to flip burgers. Now, I went into a stage of depression. I want folks to hear this. I went into a stage of depression over the idea that I could not get a job at McDonald's. And in hindsight, I look at it and say, how is that even reasonably sane that I was making six figures and I got depressed? I didn't get depressed over not getting another pharmaceutical job. I didn't get depressed over not getting hired by a Fortune 500 company. I didn't get depressed about not being able to get a job in a financial services company. I got depressed over not getting a job at McDonald's. How is that even reasonable? And then as I start looking and start coaching, I've discovered some things that men, we get wrapped up in our jobs and becomes part of our psyche. So here's what happens. Ladies, you have to understand. Men, we must be willing to admit that a large part of who we are is determined by what we do. I'm not saying it's right. I am saying that it's real for men. So on this Manhood Monday, I want to caution us, don't get wrapped up in your job. Understand that if you don't work, it takes a toll on your psyche, and we need to go get some help. So Coach went and saw some people. I had pastoral counseling. I had psychological counseling. I saw some counselors, some psychologists, said something is wrong here. There's something's not computing. The wires are not connecting. And when we look at it, folks say, "No, dog, you just crazy." And I'm saying, no. What we don't do a good job of, men, is getting the mental health help that we need. And when we lose our jobs, most of us will bottom out because we haven't fully accounted for how much time and energy these jobs take from us and how much we wrap ourselves into them. That's why when men meet, we don't ask about family. We don't ask, what do you do? We're measuring you by what you do. You know, how much money you make, what type of position you have. We're measuring each other by what we do. And women, when your men are unemployed, what they need from you is more than go get a job. What they need from you is understanding that it may take them a while to bounce back, because men are not good at bouncing back. It takes us a while to bounce back and become resilient, because what we know has been tied up into what we do. So on this day, on this Manhood Monday, I want to help men at work, understand that our mental health is important, that when we lose our jobs, when our jobs leave us, when we retire, there's a thing in the military say that when military men retire, the average length of life after retirement, if they don't go back and do something, is 6 years, because we're so wrapped up in what we're doing. So men, you got to have this mental health moment. We got to go and get help to reconcile this dead spot in our lives. If not, we won't be any good for those who love us and those who we love. Hey, it ain't easy, but it's not that hard. So we just make up our minds to go get it done. In the words of a good man, get her done. Go get the mental health help. Hey, this is Coach Ellis saying on Manhood Monday is watch our mental health, men at work. You can reach me at coach@elliscrum.net, or you can catch me at Coach Ellis on Facebook. Until next Monday, have a one-tabulous Manhood Monday. We'll see you later. Bye-bye.